What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So, we're talking about the initial information we have on the new DE game called SOULFRAME today, and we'll be going over what's going on there. As a Warframe player, we're losing some of our lead devs to go work on this game instead, and we're also going to it's going to basically be a sister game to Warframe in a different universe, but still have some ties to Warframe. So before we get into it and we go over all this stuff and look at the trailer and all that, make sure you're subbed to this channel and all that. Make sure the live stream channel as well. We'll be live later tonight playing some various games. Also, Quora Prime video coming out tomorrow, most likely. Alright, so SOULFRAME. What is this, and should you care about it as a Warframe player? So, the long and short of it is at least three of the lead devs from Warframe, or rather from Digital Extremes, the people that make Warframe, are going to be going to work on another game. But they're still at the same studio. As far as we're aware right now, those lead devs are Steve, he was the creative director up until Rebecca is now the creative director, replacing Steve. So he's the old creative director. Scott, I think is the lead gameplay designer, and then Jeff, the art designer. And if you've played Warframe, you know a lot of the designs in this game have been really, really awesome. So the art designer going from this game over to that one, that's already a good start. And as you can see from this character design right here, it kind of has a little bit of a Drifter feel to it, slightly with the art design of that character alone. But this is looking a lot different. It's called SOULFRAME, and I'm of course people hear the name SOULFRAME and think, is it just like a Dark Souls ripoff with Warframe? No, but I really don't think it's a great name. But when we start talking about what this game's actually going to be about, it will make more sense why it's called SOULFRAME. But yeah, we're losing three of our lead developers from Warframe to move on to this game. So DE will be a multi-game studio. They've always been basically we got only Warframe, we don't get any other games. They put out I think Keystone was one of them, and there was a couple other ones, but it's pretty much just only been Warframe the whole time. And that is changing here. So as far as things that are changing for us, the new lead designer the new lead gameplay designer is Pablo, the person that designed Nidus, Harrow, Ureli, Saren Rework, and other stuff like that. And he's really, really good at coding. So I actually have a lot of faith in that change. And then Rebecca is a long-term player of the game and pretty in tune with what the community likes. So her being the lead whatever designer she is, and the creative designer, I think that's also a good thing too. We don't really know who's replacing Jeff, but their opinion on the game and how good they are at the game doesn't really matter as much if you're in the art department. All you have to do is make stuff look really cool, and they already are good at making things look cool. So I don't think much will change there either. So what will SOULFRAME be? At first, I thought it was going to be a full price $60 game, but no, it has come out. This is a free to play MMO. With basically the way they're designing it is that they've been saying that Warframe is too fast for normal people to watch and even play. And honestly, as a long-term player of this game, I know what they're talking about. Where it's to us as Warframe players, jumping around your ship back and forth doesn't feel like a big deal. But to some other person out there that doesn't play this, they're how are you moving so fast? I'm just jumping around my ship. This is normal speed to us. To a normal passerby, it's what am I even looking? I can't even tell what's going on the screen right now. You're moving so fast. So if you've ever if you've stumbled upon this video and you've always thought that Warframe looked cool, but it was too fast and complicated, I can't tell you the complicated part's not going to be here, but the fast part is definitely not. It's more controlled and slower paced combat here. And now let's start talking about why this game is called SOULFRAME and some of the themes of this game that they're going to be going on. By the way, don't expect this to be fully out for a long time. I know they want to have a playable kind of demo thing this year, but I'm not going to be really interested until we have big information on okay, here's the open beta, here is here's the full game. I don't want to just play another beta because they're about to be dragging it out in Warframe. Okay, the beta state right now is this, and then 8 years later. So here's some things you can look at. First off, SOULFRAME is you're pulling your power from the soul of the land is what it seems like. If you look at what they're doing in this combat animation right here, there's some runes on this guy's arm, and that's a big reveal. Look, the arm starts off cloaked, and then you pull this sword out of the ground. As they're pulling the sword out of the ground, there's like rocks flying around up in the area. So my belief, my personal theory is that the way that magic and stuff will happen in this game is you're pulling the power out of the actual nature and the earth. This bird right here is going to be utilized in some of your magical attacks, as shown in the trailer. And the runes on this arm, I'm wondering if this is like what you're pulling your power from. Because once they start attacking, these enemies start attacking, the bird comes back and is actually used in some type of like magical animation. And you'll quickly see here too, as they pull the sword out of the earth, the land is changing around them. They push the sword into the ground first, and then start pulling it up. As you see in the background right here, there's rocks floating around. So I do think that the soul of the land is, and like the power of the continent you're on, or whatever it is, like it is going into your body, and that's how you're utilizing your magical energies, pulling like from nature. And I'm assuming that these enemies you're fighting are like doing something that nature doesn't like. Like maybe you are a force of nature here. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And as you attack, like you just got, let's just say you got a stone power there by pulling the sword out of the ground. Now these guys will become petrified when you attack them. I'm guessing like maybe if there's a fire area, you can get a fire sword or things of that nature. Also, how is this going to be a free-to-play MMO? Thankfully, let's look on the bright side. Some of those devs that are leaving DE, they've been doing this for a long time. For example, Steve, he's been working on Warframe for 10 years. They have experience, and look also, as you can notice right here, things in the environment are changing as the character uses magical powers. That little owl thing right there was not lit up until the magic wave reached them. See right there? So there's definitely going to be something tied between nature and the player character in this game. But as I was saying, I find that this actually has a lot of promise because the developers are, very experienced. Now we can argue that things aren't handled perfectly in Warframe as much as we want, and you know what? They really aren't. Like there's plenty of things that were handled terribly. Rivens, for example. But when we look at this, it's like it's a fresh start. Also, you got to remember when Warframe first came out, it was like a gamble for the devs. They didn't know if it was going to go well or not. They didn't have any financial backing. It was very scary for them. But this is very, very different from that. And also, this looks like a mount you're going to be able to get here at the end here, this wolf. The developers didn't have they were just like, I hope this works. Now they have funding. They have a full studio. They can actually utilize some big ideas here now that they've actually made it. So that actually sounds really good. And now they're going to a dual game developer, or maybe even more than 2 games in the future. I have high hopes for this. Now, should you care, I would say don't care about it anytime soon. If you want to go sign up for whatever they have on their website, go for it. I'll link that in the description. But yeah, it's not even gameplay. This is just a trailer, cinematic trailer. It looks cool. I like the ideas of it. Nature is mad of what's been done to it. So nature is going to correct what has happened, and you are. I feel like in this game you are a force of nature. You were. I'm not showing the beginning of the trailer because there's nudity in it, but you were captured and tortured, and it's kind of like a reflection of what's been happening to the world, as far as I can tell. These guys, these armored dudes that you were fighting, might have been part of some faction that have corrupted the earth, and you're trying to take it back. And this wolf right here is also a force of nature. They might be your mount. So I think that's what it is. Very, very, spiritual and, nature themed type of things here with, the abilities and all that. It's not gonna be spaceships and blowing up Grenier, that's for sure. It's gonna be a lot slower. And I think it's actually gonna be pretty cool. So if you do want to check it out, it is gonna be a free-to-play MMO. Not in the near future, but in the future. And I feel like they've learned some things from Warframe, learned the limitations of what is this a good idea to put in this type of microtransaction. There will definitely be microtransactions in there, and it's going to be PvE focused, not PvP focused. I'm sure there will be some PvP in there because that combat seems like it would lend itself pretty well to PvP, but it's going to be very melee focused. So and they did say they will be focused on PvE just like in Warframe. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. There's really not much information out there. What I just told you is basically it, with some additional lore speculation and where the abilities and the powers come from for me. So if you have any ideas, or if you maybe you think it looks bad. I mean, maybe you just think it looks bad for some reason. I think the worst part about this whole announcement is the name. Like, I know, like, once I thought about it more, I saw, like, I, like, theory crafted what the abilities are coming from, it made more sense. But, like, think about it. There's very popular, like, Dark Souls and Demon Souls games out there. And then there's also the other game they have is called Warframe. SOULFRAME. People automatically are like, is this just an Elden Ring ripoff? And, you know, like... You can't really blame them. That is just like a goofy name. It's memorable, at least. It's memorable because it is very, very blunt in what it is. And they did say it's not supposed to be like a FromSoft kind of Elden Ring, you know, Demon Souls kind of game. But when you tell me it's got slower, more methodical combat and it's only melee focused, I'm gonna think it's very similar to like Elden Ring and FromSoft games. So. Either way, I'll see you guys later. Really appreciate all the support lately, and yeah, more videos coming soon. Peace.